So we've given you a lot of information. We've given you timelines and checklists, and we've talked to you a lot. But what we found over our combined years of experience is that there's just a few little details that stand out that can slip through the cracks.
But they're important details.
Important. So we just wanted to reiterate a few of these in its own little spot for you.
And you know, we might have mentioned some of these in other places, but we really think it's key to a successful day and a successful planning experience to remember these. So book your officiant early.
Yes,
don't forget that. You need somebody to marry you. It can be your cousin who's ordained and has their license, or a rabbi or a priest, or whatever you want, whoever can do it, but just make sure you book them.
Especially as soon as you have that wedding date, get to booking.
Absolutely.
Another thing is your wedding license. Now this timeline varies state by state by state. So you want to go onto your government website and see how much time you need prior in advance to secure that wedding license, how long it's good for. I think it's a really fun thing too to kind of make a day of it. Go to City Hall, get your license, go out to lunch or dinner, and just make it a memorable, fun day.
And just something to note, a lot of times you can make the appointment online to go pick up your license, but both of you need to be present usually to pick up your license. So just make sure you keep your eye on that. So if you show up, you're not alone, and then you don't get your license.
Then you have to come back again. And regarding the marriage license, once you're married, it's done and signed, what happens? Well, a lot of times in all the chaos, nobody's had a discussion about who mails the marriage license. We like to make that the officiant's responsibility, depending on who your officiant is. If there's someone who does weddings professionally and does them quite often, I think it's pretty safe to put it in their hands and have them mail it out that day since they aren't staying for the party. Now, if it's a family member or a cousin who's marrying you, you want to put it in a safe space, and you have to mail it within a certain amount of time after being married. So mark it on your calendar and make sure to get it posted the next day.
And truthfully, in all my years of planning, I've never mailed a wedding license back in. It's always been the officiant.
It's always been the officiant. So put it on the officiant unless you know they're completely irresponsible. Another thing we find is post-ceremony, you might have all these special, valuable things, right?
You have a family heirloom.
Yes.
A cup or a candle.
A special bottle of wine that you toasted from and you want to save and drink out of later, or a cup. So make sure you've assigned somebody in your family or your trusted group of family or friends to collect those items, because sometimes, again, in the chaos of the wedding, hooray, we're married, and everybody just runs away.
Things get forgotten.
They get forgotten and lost. So make sure ahead of the time when you're planning, there is someone assigned and they remember, that is my job.
And truthfully, if you have a wedding planner, you should assign it to them.
They should be on top of that, of course. Those are just a few of the things we've seen in all our time that can easily slip through the cracks, and we don't want that to happen to you. So that's why we're sharing these things.